We are learning more about COVID-19 every day, but for some people, it's teaching them as well, including our next guest, Jennifer Norton. She's a fourth grade teacher at Horace Elementary. Welcome back to the show. It's always great to visit with you. And this makes sense. You're a teacher. You can turn any experience into a learning experience. But I thought this was so fascinating to me. A lot of people want to block out what's happening right now with the COVID-19 pandemic and distance learning, but it sounds like you are thinking that you're learning some great things from this situation.
Yes, teachers are lifelong learners, and that's kind of what they're supposed to instill in others. And so I've really kind of taken this experience and tried to twist it into a positive light. Like, what is it about COVID-19, or what can I take from this that is going to help me? And one of the things that I've really worked on, and West Fargo Public Schools uses two main platforms. So they use their Seesaw and then the Microsoft Teams. And so I've gotten really good at both of those platforms. But really, I've really enjoyed looking at some of the other apps and different things that are out there. So for me, I've used Microsoft Lens, which, has always been out there, but I've never really tried it before. But I've used that to be able to take pictures of books or documents, and it's been lots of fun using that then to read storybooks or things like that and post that for students. Yep, there's the one you haven't seen yet. That's Brecken.
I was hoping for someone to photobomb. I love that you have littles at home too. That just goes, all along with the juggling act that you have there, teaching your students and having your littles at home too. He's adorable. Yep. I love that.
Some of the other things that I've used is like Clips or iMovie. PowerPoint has been very huge for me. A lot of other people have used Zoom or Google Slides and different things with that. But it's really a huge learning experience for all of us as teachers to use the technology to best serve our students. So I have learned how to video myself, put it on PowerPoint, and be able to teach while I am videoing myself on PowerPoint, but then to export that to a video so students can watch it as a video, which I love, because then I always meet with my kids on Friday and I talk to them a little bit about what went well this week, what do we need to change, what more do you need? And so then I can go back and do a new video for them to kind of help them through some of those things. Things that I'm going to use for next year would be like, think about students who struggle with reading. If you're not grading them on the reading portion and you're grading them on a different portion, you could read the directions for them. And you can use this to differentiate or explain different things. Some of the other things that I've thought is, think about those students who are absent or go on vacation for a week. Yes, it would take a little bit of time to do a quick video lesson for them, but at the same time, they're not going to be so far behind when they come back into the classroom after being gone.
So you may actually still use some of this technology even when you're in the classroom. I love that.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. And then, to explain their thinking, some of that higher level thinking. So even as far as we talk a lot about the profile of a graduate and the 21st century skills, the thinking skills, the 4 C's for some of, I'm kind of going through all of the different ways and terms that we use them, but really collaborating, communicating, using your creativity, having some critical thinking skills. Those are all being taught right now during distance learning. And what better way than being engulfed in them instead of just sprinkling them into the classroom?
I love that.
So, I just use student choice boards. There's so many things out there. It's almost overwhelming to think of all the different ways that you can use this within your classroom next
And when you're talking about choice boards, I've noticed that with my own children as well. It gives them some freedom and some independence to pick their own assignments as well. It's interesting to see what they choose. We are out of time, but hopefully we're going to visit. We need more time, but we'll have you back next week. I love that you have found the silver lining in all of this and are learning as we go through this whole process. So it's going to be an even better year next year. So thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week. All right, stay with us. Coming up next, a big part of summer for a lot of people is getting out on the range and keeping their marksmanship skills top notch. We'll tell you how you can still do that right after the break.